Hello everybody, welcome back. We did experience some technical difficulties with Wellmu's Skype setup. We couldn't quite get him on the phone, but he is trying to sort it out, so we will definitely bring you some words from him later, so all you Finnish players out there and fans and supporters do stay with us. We will get some words from him a little bit later on, but we need to keep the show moving to get into our next game.
We do indeed. We are going to have ThorZaIN going up against BabyKnight here to determine the first player falling out back into Challenger.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it would really come down to these two players?
These two players. And the interesting thing is when I looked at the group overview today, I really feel that ThorZaIN is one of the weaker players, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But against Protoss, I don't think it's not quite like that. I think he's got his best chance against Protoss players here today. He's got a couple of Hellbat builds, he's got a couple of Hellbat strategies, which do cripple Protoss players if they aren't ready for it. And then combine the fact that BabyKnight and also Wellmu, the two Protoss players within this group, do not have a high win record against Terran players. This could be ThorZaIN's shot, but it also could be BabyKnight's chance to continue his legacy here in the WCS from last year to Season 1 to now.
Yep, has to continue that legend killer name. Killing ThorZaIN off would actually be a pretty good name on the roster that he's already vanquished during Season 1. But for BabyKnight in Season 1, yes, he beat Stefano. Yes, he beat Grubby. Yes, he beat Naniwa in that round of 32 and round of 16. But the one loss he had, that was to Empire Happy during that round of 16, who made it actually look pretty easy against BabyKnight. So he has such a tall order on his hands in the form of ThorZaIN.
Yeah, I mean, the most difficult part is that BabyKnight, the best way to play Protoss versus Terran, for all of you Terran players out there, I know you're going to love this because I hate it too, is a defensive Protoss player that sits back, defends, comes at you with Storm and Colossus. It's all the rage with players that aren't Taser and whatnot, right? So that play style isn't BabyKnight. It just isn't him. He gets bored, he gets, sad, frustrated, unhappy, whatever you want to say. He just prefers to be the guy that is in your face, with a blink all-ins or immortal pushes or has an option to be aggressive instead of sitting back. That's always been his mentality. It's more fun to be active on the map.
Yeah.
But the best play style is to be a little bit sat back. But that's with the recent Protoss players and recent Protoss play before the Warp Prism. Does that Warp Prism give him the element of fun? Does it allow him to be aggressive? That's what we're going to find out going up against ThorZaIN here.
And it's a very good way in which you bring that up, because he is a player that has said in interviews multiple times that he would much rather be the aggressor. He would much rather have that more fun activity in these kinds of games here. So for ThorZaIN going up against that, he has to be very, very calm and defended here going into game number 1 on Derelict Watcher. We have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner as our blue Terran. He is EG ThorZaIN. And spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our red Protoss, we have Na'Vi BabyKnight.
All right, Na'Vi BabyKnight. So the BabyKnight, I think, could win this series. He very well could win this series. But we're going to have to see who gets the first blow in here. Some people blame girlfriends. Some people blame the EG curse. I'm not afraid to be that man who says these things. Or as I say, I should not be afraid to be the man who says the things that he read on the Team Liquid preview.
Yes.
I didn't write these things. But, whatever the case, ThorZaIN needs to prove those wrong, right?
Definitely.
He's got to prove them wrong, right here, right now.
He has to. If he doesn't make it past the round of 32, that's a disappointment to ThorZaIN. There's no two ways about it. ThorZaIN, he was so close, on the verge of moving on to the round of 8 last season.
Close.
Ridiculously close if you go back and watch the VODs from Season 1, or you remember those games against Demaga. So to go out here, either of these players to go out here, both of being in the round of 8, we lose another round of 8 combatant here in Season 2. So the fluctuation of players that we're having attain those highs is astronomical right now.
It's crazy. It's insane. And I think I'm not sure who was more upset. ThorZaIN losing to Demaga or Lucifron losing to TLO for the place to actually go to Korea. Those two were the biggest losses, the biggest emotional hits that the players from Season 1 took. And, you know, we aren't going to really see the player reactions here today, but we could see it in the round of 16 and above that as well.
You say emotional hits. I can never stop but think about to the Widowmine hits for poor ThorGG. I can only imagine in that game, at that point, his heart sunk into his chair.
I look at, you know, ThorZaIN losing to the Ling run by or Lucifron losing to Cheese, more of a no.
Yeah.
But I look at ThorGG like, you've got to be kidding me. You know, like a different kind of emote. You've got to be swearing. You know, I want to throw a swear word in there, but I'd like not to at this point. That's how I look at that kind of emotion. But still, you know, great highlights from Season 1. Let's hope we see more in Season 2 here as the loser match of Group A commences here between these two players. We do have two different build setups. We have one barracks command center from ThorZaIN, a standard Wings of Liberty-esque build that can be used very easily in Heart of the Swarm here as well. But on the other hand, we saw double gas being taken by BabyKnight, increasing his gas income, increasing his technology. Therefore, very simply, we have a Stargate coming down inside the main base very early on.
Oh, interesting stuff here from BabyKnight. And to that, I mean, he hasn't scouted at all. So he's just preparing for what his opponent could do. Or he is actually just going to get aggressive himself, go for the Oracle, and try and make that work out. But he's going to expand behind it and make this a bit more of a macro.
It's interesting. I'd say it was Oracle, but a lot of the times you'd like to get the Stargate down to build Phoenixes against a player who likes to open for an early Medivac and play a Phoenix Colossus game. And the decision on that usually comes on to scouting. But without any information, it has to just be Oracle. Why would you risk a Phoenix in hope that it's a factory when it very most likely could just be a normal opening here, which in case it is, but look at ThorZaIN. Early engineering bay, incredibly early, sees the double gas and says, you know what, get lost. Take your gas and get out of the round of 32. This is where I belong.
Yeah, and even deny, well, I mean, he doesn't really
sees
deny.
the later Nexus. If he was sharp on that SCV, he would have definitely known this is coming. So he has a turret inside the middle line in his main base, a bunker, and lots of Marines on the natural. This is locked down. The only place it's scary is inside his base. We've seen players with Oracles get towards the barracks, and that's why we have another bunker coming down. This is like the perfect defense here.
Yeah, in a very cool place. Just nicely situated between both points, both focal points of attention here that BabyKnight would be trying to exploit, just so he can retreat back into it if the Oracle catches those Marines out of position on transit to defend either location. But Phoenix are actually going to follow this up, Apollo.
Yeah, Phoenix is going to completely dedicate to Stargate, but the Oracle comes in, gets a single kill, and he's going to move down to the natural. He's got to be very, very careful. There's a bunker there too. And this Oracle is just not going to get the job done compared to what he's expecting, should I say. He's got 2 kills so far. In an ideal world, you're looking at 6, 8, 10 above. He's managed to squeeze out 4.
Ooh.
5.
Ooh.
That's really nice micro to get 5 from a fully locked down defensive ThorZaIN. That's worth it. For the Oracle.
That was phenomenal micro there. Just using that move attack. Very, very quick commands there from BabyKnight. And once again, he's going to be following this up with Phoenix. So if he wants to, he has another phase of this aggression coming along. But ThorZaIN, he's following up with an extra missile turret in the back of this natural. So it's going to be a little bit harder for him to fully breach. And even an extra missile turret at the back of his main as well.
Oh, need to activate that. Pulse up beam. Otherwise, will not get killed. Oh, managed to get out there. So the Phoenix follow-up here. 4 Phoenix is just going to shoot across the map now and just going to start harassing everything and anything. And this is just totally what we expect from BabyKnight. Not a player that's going to sit back and just macro and play defensive. He's going to be all over you if he gets the opportunity. And he's definitely got that here from ThorZaIN, who's taking it like a man. Who's trying to defend well.
Yeah.
But still, let's have a look at these Phoenixes. I'm going to ignore a couple of turret shots, I think.
I'm going to try and maybe catch some units on their way from production to the front of the base. But can't really find an opening there. Pulls on back for now. He's going to try and dive in here, but the missile turret is already there. So very surprised to find that missile turret in the end.
Yeah, he definitely wants to swing in there, I think. Maybe pick off 1 or 2 SCVs and then get out. You don't want to just not go in. 1, 2, and then I'd probably get out.
Went away.
3 is nice.
Good micro once again. Saves the weakened Phoenix, moves it back.
And then a switch over to Colossus here, just a normal play. What's the best part about switching over to Colossus here is that the Phoenixes are going to be very good at tanking damage if the Terran player is not microing his Phoenixes to target the Colossus. And then more importantly, they can also do damage to the Vikings. So it brings them down faster, keeping the Colossus alive longer. The sacrifice is, of course, not getting the Forge down as fast as you'd like it to. But what does it matter? You don't need upgrades if you've got Colossus killing everything, no Vikings.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. ThorZaIN, meanwhile, he's just adding on his Medivacs, getting his full biocomposition up and running, good to go. Adding on that +1 weapons as well. We may end up seeing, well, he'll probably just go straight into the armor and then, and then add on the second engineering bay as well as the armory at exactly the same time. So just getting those upgrades. Doing nice.
And it's very similar to what BabyKnight's doing. Because he's invested in Stargate, then Robo, he's very low on units that matter. So he's only gone for a single Forge. He'll get the +1 attack nice and early here, I'd imagine, and then +1 armor himself. Because that means he doesn't need to rush out the Twilight Council, doesn't need to spend money and gas, which he doesn't need to, and needs to focus on units, which is precisely right. As he keeps these Sphinxes alive, very nice there. But this is spreading himself thin a little bit. He's got, look at the unit tab. 1 Sentry, 4 Phoenix, 2 Stalker, 3 Zealots, and a single Colossus. The Colossus is the savior here.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
even with Combat Shield nearing completion, spreads these units out, he could just kill the Colossus maybe.
Yeah, he could. And especially if he finds out that that third base is going up, and he does find out. So
Now he knows how weak that he is. He's got to be careful. There's only a couple of 1 Guardian Shield there. There's no force fields. Oh, nice spread, but BabyKnight didn't walk out into the open. No force fields.
Time warps do go down here, slowing down a lot of this bios, so they're going to have a very difficult time if they want to close the gap with that Colossus. A very clever play here by BabyKnight, but he's losing a lot of his ground army, and the Colossus has to stay alive. It just barely gets back up that high ground.
Oh, it goes down, it goes down, and now this is a turn where you just march up. I'd actually run to the third, go into the Natural's a big gamble. Got 4, 5, 6 Marauders, stim, kill the Nexus. Oh man, if he gets the Nexus here, this is a big win here for ThorZaIN.
And the Phoenix coming back here, trying to slow this down as best he can do, as well as trying to slow down some of those reinforcements. The second Colossus does come out here, but the Bio's trying to hunt it down. It's so close to death, and it does end up going down once again here. ThorZaIN pushing on forwards and killing off the remaining Stalkers. The Phoenix is trying to do what they can, and a warp in once again. ThorZaIN, scrappy little battles at the end, and gets pulled them back.
But what did he actually do? Yes, he killed the 2 Colossus, but he didn't kill the third, and he didn't win the game.
Yeah.
Behind it, there is a third command center down, which is going over to an orbital, but this for BabyKnight isn't terrible. He's got 64 probes to 59. Remember the usual scenario in Terran versus Protoss? Terran has a third up and is delaying the Protoss third, The third is faster here. He's ahead in army supply now. His income is in good shape. His upgrades now with the +1 armor coming in, the Twilight Council's coming down as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see a double Forge, actually, considering that he does have a higher income. But he may just want to focus on trying to go over to Templar fast or something. Does he have Thermal Lance?
I think he may do. Well, the Colossus, I think they finished up during the end of that engagement, but but for now, can't actually check on this. But anyway,
all right, we'll see when they fight. But he does have Zealot charge, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Templar quite fast here. He's got gases on all 3 bases. And we'll see. ThorZaIN does get his down, but remember the Viking count at this point, only 2. You can't move out until there's at least 6 to 8.
Phoenix harassment here, trying to do some damage as well, catching off a few of these SCVs on their transition over. And with that, well, just adding on extra Colossus as well as that charge. The armor upgrade's about to finish, but again, ThorZaIN with that 2-2 on the way, looking quite handy.
All right, so the upgrade lead is in favor of the Terran. Everything else is in favor of the Protoss. The technology that he has with coming the Templar archives coming down, and he's focusing very heavily on Zealots now. 10 Zealots coming in, which means all his gas can start to switch over to Templar. 3 Colossus and a 4th one coming down as well. He's building up his army very nicely at this point, but we do have a drop from ThorZaIN at the north.
Yeah, trying to find a position to actually do some damage here. I mean, he may end up getting a few pylons, but other than that, the Mothership Core's there and ready to throw down that photon overcharge if it would need it. And
scanner on the natural reveals the Templar archives and also Templar being warped in, so he now knows that the ghosts are going to be very important, and he should probably try to move out a little bit before ghosts are coming in. He has a timing, not a big one because he doesn't have that many units, right? So he can't kill his opponent, but he may be able to do some damage, but still 4 Colossus?
And
There are 8 Vikings, I guess.
There's a few, well, 1 or 2, 8 in fact, now that we look at it, that we're actually pushing away some of those Phoenix in the middle of the map. A little bit of zealot harassment here for BabyKnight, but really doesn't get too much done. The majority of these workers were killed off via other means. So BabyKnight, though, I mean, those 4 Colossus are going to cause him some problems.
Yeah, and he's moving out now. He is being a little bit brave, but he does see how many Vikings there are there. The problem is that 2-2 is seconds away. That's a little bit scary. He's moving out here. He has no reinforcing pylon. I don't really know what he's doing here. I don't think this is the best move. I think he's just kind of faking out a little bit, maybe. Force a bit of pressure, indirect pressure. And he's on the right-hand side of the map. He's got to be careful.
And
look at the scan in the middle of the map, like, all right, where is he? Oh, what the hell?
Not here.
What? Where is he?
Where has he gone? Well, he's going to kill some rocks down off the bottom. And the 4th base is on the way here. Storm finished up, though, which is going to help out BabyKnight quite a bit once an engagement comes. He doesn't have any High Templars with this army, though.
I love this consistent production of Colossus here. He's up to 5 now with a 6th on the way. This is something, who have I seen this do a lot? I think it was Elfie did it a lot. It's really cool because with Storm and Stalkers, the main focus is great, land storms on the army like normal, but if you kill these Vikings, Vikings there won't be enough Vikings, I don't think, to bring down these Colossus fast enough, and the Colossus is going to do so much damage.
And it can be sometimes easy to kill off a lot of those Vikings when they are clumped up against a storming player. And BabyKnight's been all right at landing storms sometimes. It depends entirely on how his opponent's controlling Ghost. ThorZaIN has been a very, very high proprietor of Ghosts for a very long time. So we'll see if he's able to control those effectively against those High Templars.
Yeah, this is not a fight ThorZaIN should take. Do you know what the best fight for ThorZaIN to take is? I think it should be when his 3-3 upgrade is complete, his +2 completes for his Vikings, and he gets maxed out with the extra Ghosts and Vikings. That's the best fight to take.
Well, will BabyKnight force the issue before that, though, is the question. He's building up a little bit of a mineral bank here as well. Blinks forwards and kills off 1 or 2 of these Vikings. Nice snipe out there for the cost of 1 Stalker. Very, very worth it.
And this is a good fight to take here for BabyKnight. He just needs to pile on closer. That's the only...
Oh, what a great EMP on 4 of those High Templars with that 1 Ghost.
That was pretty good, actually. And now that, I was going to say that could be a fight to its sake, but not anymore. He has to regen that energy, and that gives ThorZaIN the time to get to this powerful army here. There is a 4th base down earlier, but there's no aggressive pylons around for harassing and also reinforcing is the biggest problem. And now we actually see, 4 probes move out, 2 at the top, 2 in the bottom. They're going to be for pylons everywhere. Harassment to kill off the bases. The Dark Shrine's near completion. That is the harassment coming in. And then, of course, for Zealots in the mix, too. And scouting as well. He's like, oh, really? No 4th base? Oh, okay. That means I'm going to bank up a bunch of money. But the problem is ThorZaIN's army is strong, man. This is very, very strong. Very strong, actually. And
it's interesting that actually BabyKnight invested into Gravatic boosters here just to keep his Observer with the army at all times, so he can keep up with that army super quick. Only has the 1, and a great revelation there reveals this army for the next minute, so BabyKnight knows exactly where his opponent is at any time.
There is 1 Observer with this army. Cloak is seconds from being done. Great use of that revelation. Sees the movement here. ThorZaIN looking to take his 3-3 fight. Seconds until 3 armors done. It's about to happen. This is the fight ThorZaIN wants to take.
Yeah, he does. The storms go down on some of those Vikings, and they do die. Well, I mean, they do take quite a bit of damage, but the clump at the north didn't really take too much. Another storm goes down. There's really not that many Zealots to actually tank the rest of this, as well as those Vikings actually killing off the majority of those Colossi. The Observer did die. So now those Ghosts, well, the 2 of them, the 2 or 3 of them, if they want to.
They're only at 2-2, these units, compared to 3-3 here. Now with the Medivacs healing everything up, BabyKnight is hurting.
At the same time, though, Dark Templar are going to work for BabyKnight in his opponent's main. There was a little bit of a drop up to the north as well, but this Bio Army just rips through this infrastructure, killing off the roads.
DT's in the mix. Is he going to scan? He needs to start to realize to scan this. Zealot's coming in. There's the scan.
Look at all the army's so weak, though. It got shredded up.
Yeah, and the DT harassment, man, has killed a lot here. 37 workers have gone down throughout this game. 47 workers do remain. A great harassment up here, but this is going to get cleaned up by DTs too.
And forces them away there. Not willing to invest another scan into that. Has to put the scans elsewhere to try and clean up his natural. But his income is still, well, not really there against BabyKnight's. As BabyKnight's trying to
BabyKnight's income's double at this point. He's got a 4th and a 5th base down. And DT harassment's continuing on. There's a planetary down the bottom left, which easy a DT can get warped in when BabyKnight starts to regain focus before his pylon goes down. There it is. And he can just pick off the turret, force a scan. He's going to have to come down to defend it.
Ooh.
I mean, there's DTs everywhere.
Yeah, there. How many does he actually have on the field? He only has 2 left because, well, the ones that were in the middle they've done the job they needed to do in his base. So now BabyKnight takes a very nice, healthy, like 40 supply lead, and with that ThorZaIN is scrambling to try and make some damage happen at his opponent's mining bases, but I don't think that BabyKnight's going to really let him. Yeah,
BabyKnight has 2 not really but he's got 2 robotics facilities on the way. He's going to increase his cluster count majorly, and he's just got an arm. This base isn't going down. ThorZaIN's been hurt with his income. He's now got his 4th finally up, so he can start to climb up. Still 2-2 versus 3-3, but nice micro.
Yeah, very nice there. Just boosting that out, saving that ghost, and bringing it on back. Full energy ghost there. Every single unit, every single man not left behind there.
Nobody is left behind for ThorZaIN. But the one person he needs to care about is himself, because if he doesn't win this series, he's the one left behind.
Yeah.
As remember, the loser of this game, this series, should I say, this best of 3, is eliminated from Premier League and finishes in the round of 32. A disappointing finish for both players, absolutely is. As these Stalkers do blink their way out, getting chased down. Ooh, cheeky pick off that one. That was full as well.
Gets another one as well there. Needs to blink on out, though, as, well, that one Zealot's going to buy him a little bit of time to get out with 5 of the Stalkers, so a great trade there by BabyKnight.
And BabyKnight's just got so much money, man. He's almost back to 200 supply. Doing the business here. Playing a long game. Really nice long game. 5 bases up, 63 probes, great income. And he's starting to bank a lot of money again.
There was that position where ThorZaIN almost did the damage he needed to do to finish the game, but BabyKnight recovering from that position to then say, well, you know, I've retained enough to go into this kind of game has been fantastic for BabyKnight. And right now, his army is so fearsome in comparison to how many ghosts does he have? Only 2 ghosts out right now.
All right, the one good thing for ThorZaIN, he's got a double drop. And that's going to make its way towards the this base. There's maxed out Terran, maxed out Protoss army. Can't defend. Got no units to defend with. Can't warp in any. So maybe he can slow down his opponent's economy. But there's already 2,000 minerals in the back, man.
Yeah, and I don't know how much this is really going to be able to shut down. That being said, though, he's way out of position. The cannon will go down. And is the mothership core with this army?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, just look at the army. Look at the army difference. That is like the America army. That is like everybody else.
Yeah.
Look at the difference. It's major.
Dear. 130 supply to 89 here. Great Storm catches a little bit of that bio, but then it clips a lot of those Zealots as well. The Planetary Fortress is going to get focused down. BabyKnight actually just doesn't care at this point, and will bring that down. America doesn't care. Did we really just say that? But there you go. ThorZaIN gets pushed back. And now, I mean, the double drop did what it needed to do. It killed off a Nexus, but, man, America rolling out now. Yeah,
now we just have this small little drop that's still doing a bit of damage, but there's enough units here with DTs getting warped in to clean this up. And BabyKnight, if you look at the army supply, 100 to 80. But everything that ThorZaIN has, he has 10 Vikings and 6 Ghosts. They are the most important units. Everything else doesn't matter. Because if the Ghosts fall or the Vikings fall, then the other counterpart, whether it be the Colossus or the High Templar, win out.
And now,
there are so many Colossus, man. 4 Colossus and more can come very easily at this point.
Ooh, he has to be careful with those drops.
But good play from ThorZaIN with the drops for sure, right? This is, you know, picking off that base and slowing down the other one. BabyKnight has got a lot of minerals to spend here.
And look how many High Templars he actually has with pretty much full energy here. 7 in this composition. Usually you would see Protoss players leaving a few behind here and there to defend bases. But now BabyKnight just bringing these along with his army. He is going for a kill move if he can find one. And
all right, well, there's no observer. Cloak could do well here. And I think he just realizes he saw his 3 observers. That's the greatest moment of any Protoss player. He's like, did he just scam me? Yeah, he's looking for no. Oh, I don't know. And then he starts 3 observers instantly. So he's going to wait through his 3 observers and then go.
Yeah,
but then he's going to come rolling, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to come rolling because this army, despite not having +3 attack, is so powerful. As long as he doesn't get clumped up in EMP'd and doesn't make a mistake, he'd be looking to pick up this game.
And now BabyKnight just kind of strangulating ThorZaIN here at this point with these small pokes around. Oh, but his army is moving. Oh, what a great scan. Sees the exact positioning of that army.
Oh, he's coming in for the EMP. He's coming in for the EMPs.
The High Templar have been moved to the back there.
He didn't do either.
This is slightly
He was
frustrating.
so scared to actually lose him to the Colossus. Didn't do anything.
Oh, nice blink forwards here. Will kill off one or two of those Vikings as he does enter this engagement, but the Colossi die off very, very quickly. And there you go. GG, well played for game number 1. BabyKnight will take it. Impressive stuff there.
Impressive stuff there. Really good game from BabyKnight. Good start to good finish for sure.
Right, okay. So, ThorZaIN now on the verge of being knocked out here, moving down to Challenger League. That's not a place either of these players wants to be, but ThorZaIN...
I got a smile on my face, and it's not because one of them's going out. I was just reliving the America joke in my head.
Okay. Oh, I see. The delay. I see.
I always laugh at my jokes, man, especially when they're semi-funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually I gotta wipe this smile off my face. It's because this is a serious matter, man. Like someone's going home here.
Going down.
Someone could go home.
You're wrestling with it. I can see.
I never wrestle with anything. I wear a pink shirt and I say that it's very ironic. But I don't. I look at ThorZaIN and the option. It's not even an option. If ThorZaIN was to drop out, I then look and be like, oh no.
Neither of these players can go.
This is a very, very bad period he's in at the moment.
Yeah.
Where, you know, round of 32, top 40 in the last 3 tournaments he's been at. He hasn't won a tournament since the DreamHack tournament back in April 2012, and it's now July 2013, man. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to raise. I think if ThorZaIN went out here, it's more of a blow than it would be if BabyKnight goes out. Obviously, BabyKnight advanced to the round of 8, and he was playing fantastically last season. But BabyKnight has constantly been on the rise. Constantly. If he falls out of this tournament, yeah, he falls out, but he probably just comes straight back up.
Yeah.
But if ThorZaIN falls out now, that's a consistent downgrade of where he used to be now, going into game number 2.
Yeah, ThorZaIN's had some difficult periods, man, for sure. Like his loss against Naniwar at the esports SM, where he lost in the finals there, and that's kind of prestigious to him. He'd won it last year and he lost it this year to Naniwar, who was always looking for that win over ThorZaIN. And then for him to get to climb up after that loss at DreamHack, to then have to go up against Elfie and lose versus Elfie in front of his home audience as well. So, you know, he's had some hard hits recently for sure.
He has, and BabyKnight in turn, if he does fall out, it kind of, considering what we actually saw from him in season number 1,
yeah.
The later rounds, I don't know if it would be the same without Mr. BabyKnight. It won't be the same without either of these players. So let's see, as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner, currently 1 up, he is Na'Vi's BabyKnight. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Terran, we have none other than EG ThorZaIN.
I'd like to see a Reaper build. I'd like to see a Reaper build here. Star Station's a very good map for it. And one of the other reasons, too, is scouting. If BabyKnight was to go for Stargate again, think of the amount of investment that was thrown into that defense, still losing 5 to 6 probes early. You know, the very early engineering bay, the additional bunkers, like 3 turrets. He's got the 12 barracks coming in. We'll see if he actually builds another probe, another SCV behind this, because this is where you get the 12 refinery. And yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is really nice. This is what I would like to say. Coach Apollo definitely agrees with this move. I was thinking, you know what? I always argue with myself before I say anything. It's kind of this weird thing I have when I cast. Because I know what I'm going to say. Then I'm like, no, that's dumb. And then I don't say the first thing I was going to say. So everyone's like, what is he on about? What I was trying to get towards is do I not myself, my inner log argument was, do I want to see a second barracks?
You mean for
and
like
then I was like, you know, I
Reapers?
wouldn't mind seeing it, but then I was like, I don't really want to see it. Yeah, like the show build, the build that show uses all the time, double racks Reapers.
Yeah, yeah.
After the orbital, you get the Reaper and you slap down another barracks. I don't think I want to see it, because the main purpose shouldn't be for him to focus on doing damage, because otherwise if he doesn't, he falls behind. I think the focus here should be, if it's Star Station, it's easy to get in, it's easy to get out, it's scouting info, more so than anything else.
And BabyKnight, I think, on this map more than any against the Terran opponents that I've seen him against recently, has had a harder time on this map than any other. One only need think back to that series against him going up against, it was either Happy or Lucifron in Season 1. I think it was Lucifron.
Yeah, I think so.
But Lucifron just completely had his number on this map. So BabyKnight has got to play it cautiously here on Star Station.
All right, so the SCV goes in and sees that there's only a Stalker being made, no Zealot. It's not worth trying to throw down an engineering bait with Twilight Council. This is why the Reaper. Ooh. This is why you go Reaper. This is really cool. He's going to kill off the probe, and now BabyKnight's like, oh, what? You got a Reaper? Oh, darn. Sugar plums.
The sugar plums. Well, there's a lot of room to jump in.
Well, where's the Stalker? Stalker's trying to intercept the Reaper. Right, that's the main goal. He's got another Stalker coming in.
Huh, is ThorZaIN actually not going to go in?
He's going to look around for a proxy Stargate. Oh my gosh. Oh golly gosh. Behind this, he is going for just a regular play, second barracks down, to get the tech lab on that. This could work. All right, so we're going to see a 4-gate blink all in.
Yeah. ThorZaIN's checking everywhere.
He's checking everywhere apart from the main place that he wants to be looking at. It's like hiding in plain sight. He's looking for a Stargate or a Twilight Council with DTs or anything.
He did this on Derelict Watcher with Marines and SCVs.
If this is the way that ThorZaIN goes out, James.
It's a tough one.
If he goes out to a blink all in here.
He's going to be a bit
crushed.
The
Reaper's coming back up. All right, the Reaper's coming back up. What's he going to see?
Can he even get in?
The Stalker sees, but can't stop. There's a Stalker inside the main base.
Yeah.
If he goes up and gets pushed out, if he runs past, he needs to run past the Stalker. Don't come back. Don't be a girl. Don't be a girl.
Oh, he sees the second gateway.
Wait, he's going down. Okay, he's going down. He sees no natural. Now natural. Now, this is where the alarm bells, the fire alarm, whatever you want.
Oh, he did jump up.
He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. Just build bunkers, man. 3 bunkers. Anything and everything you've got.
But even if he makes 3 bunkers at the front, he has to make bunkers in the back as well, potentially. I mean, that's how you normally would actually deal with some kind of one-base blink play if you know it's coming.
The mothership call's there, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Blink in the main anyway, but that's very dangerous. SCVs can get pulled off. He's now seen the pylon outside his main base. ThorZaIN has to hold this, otherwise he is eliminated from the Premier League. He'll go down to Challenger.
Oh, the bunker in the main! The bunker in the main!
He's got a bunker in the main too. I think he's identified what this is going to be. Let's see if he can make the hold. It's going to be a lot about micro, and he's gone for combat shields over stim here, realizing the threat, realizing that no way he's getting stim here.
One of these bunkers is now under assault. He evacuates the Marines from that bunker.
The Nexus coming down as well. Look at that. He's forcing an overreaction here. He doesn't need to kill him. With the Nexus almost complete here. He's going to poke in, but he's forcing SCVs to put offline. Look at this. ThorZaIN's like panicking. Now, if you look at the pro count to SCV count, 4 difference. If that at all goes in favor of Protoss, this is a win.
Oop, blinks up here.
That was a very courageous blink.
Yeah, it was indeed. Those Marines are situated in position to actually do some damage.
Blink cooldown.
And he can't actually blink off the high ground. He blinks them off singularly there. And
I think ThorZaIN already knows. That's not too many Stalkers. If he sends all his SCVs back to work and builds a factory, then he knows.
26 workers right now to 24, but you're right. I mean, if he attributes for the fact that there isn't that many Stalkers there, then it could be fantastic. But no, I mean, he's got so many SCVs still pulled off. He still thinks it's very aggressive.
He's got force field the ramp here.
Ooh, there's only 4 Marines on this low ground.
He's picking off a lot of SCVs, trying to bring down the bunker.
Nice blink out there with that weakened Stalker.
Still gonna get it. Get the SCVs, get the SCVs.
Yeah.
Blink back, get the SCVs. Oh, blink you.
And the force field does end up dissipating. He has no more. Only that one was at present, but he will have a second one in a bit.
All right, the biggest problem now for BabyKnight is that this didn't do a lot of damage yet. He's made more Stalkers. He keeps making Stalkers. He wants to make the damage right. Stim is the next upgrade to be made, and the starport's going to come down, and medevac's going to be made. Ooh, this is a nice blink. This is a really nice blink.
Yeah,
because he has a lot of time to get out with a blink too. He can blink micro out. Look at this, perfect setup.
Oh, and it's actually really hard for ThorZaIN here because
no stim.
A is supply blocked, and B, if he goes for the engagement, he knows his opponent has the easiest retreat path out, so he doesn't want to go too far.
All right. Ooh, nice blink. Nice blink. This is a good time here for BabyKnight to throw down Double Forge, I think. I think Double Forge may be the right option against this.
And just power macro off the back of it.
Yeah, like Zealot Charge from the Twilight Council that you've already got. You've already got your Twilight Council to go to continue to 2-2. You don't need to invest in a Twilight Council again. It depends right now, because he needs to start to think. He keeps on warping his Stalkers, though. He's spending his money. He's getting the gas on the natural. I definitely feel he's going to try to use the Twilight counter-tech rather than go up to Colossus here. Definitely a smarter decision. Comes to the natural.
One bunker does go down here. BabyKnight with some fantastic decision-making thus far on where to actually engage at any particular period, moment in time. BabyKnight will pull back once again. You think he's going to warp even more Stalkers in and just continue?
Yeah, definitely. He's hammering hard at the moment. He's got 3 sentries coming in. Okay, so he's going to wrap around the bunkers and force field the ramp.
Yeah.
Eventually, when he's like, all right, I guess I can't do too much anymore, that's when we'll see the switch over to tech. But at the moment, force field the ramp, 1 on the ramp, because...
Very important. Oh, but actually, he could bring that bunker down before it even gets repaired. Oh, just barely not getting it. If he'd have focused down fully on that bunker, well, it goes down anyway there. Good positioning still here on to the left-hand side.
Where the hell are these medivacs? That's what every single Marine, Marauder, and Terran player out there is saying. Where the hell are these medivacs? Because that's what he needs. Desperately. Stim is nearing completion. There's the, one Forge coming in the background. Zealot Charge, I think Armor would be a nice upgrade. Oh, he's got the Robo too, but
even the Robo facility. Another engagement here with these Blink Stalkers, just trying to trade what he can. Resources lost is surprisingly even, as BabyKnight is just trying to continue transferring off this. The one advantage I think BabyKnight's getting, if you had to give him an advantage, would be the fact that he's been powering probes off the back of it, whilst ThorZaIN has not necessarily been as eager to get super loads of SCVs out.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like I said, at any stage when this is going on, the probe count's higher than the SCV count, the Protoss is winning. It's 48-38.
Ooh, Stim finished, he has to run away.
He can blink again in a second. He's going to turn around and fight.
Yeah, he is. He's going to use 3 of these Zealots to try and tank that damage, but you cannot fight against that.
Yeah.
He got a few kills, but not enough.
And he's got an Immortal coming in, so he's not trying to go up to splash damage, surprisingly enough here. He's, you know, he didn't make the switch early enough, so it's harder to do so. So he's going to have to fall back on an Immortal and just use the robotics facility now, rather than try to play funky. That's okay, though. He's going to keep the pressure up.
Trying to push him once again. Look at how low the majority of these Stalkers actually are. Very, very low to actual death if they were just on hulls, but the shields have been able to replenish. So that really does show the sign of a very, very good Blink Micro.
What's going to come out now, though, is 2 extra medivacs, and near +1 finishing, ThorZaIN's going to move out. There's no observer, there's no mothership core, there's no way for him to blink and counterattack here. This is where he just runs across the map and hits you. But the robotics bay needs to finish fast. Ooh. Colossus need to be made here. It's very important for BabyKnight.
I tried to get one of the medevacs there, but ThorZaIN realized the threat boosts it out just at the last second and even goes for the repair as well. A methodical ThorZaIN keeping that alive. Very important once he goes for the engagements, but BabyKnight constantly just being such a pest.
He's coming. He's got concussive shells. He's going to try and catch a couple of these Stalkers. Colossus is going to be so good here. Imagine with all these Blink Stalkers that can blink and pick off Vikings, if there even were any, but there aren't. And at this point, 3 sentries, 4 zealots. I'd focus just on zealots now. You got enough sentries, just zealot there. 4 zealots, just pure zealots.
Yeah.
Great army that BabyKnight has, and a 3rd base way earlier. Another Twilight Council. That's so funny. I love it when players make that mistake.
Oh, well, yeah. Just trying to crank out maybe the +2 weapons eventually, or even go for, you know, the eventual upgrade that he would want in that charge. It is quite funny. You're right.
It's just because he's like, all right, I got my upgrades coming in. This is the time I have my Twilight Council.
Yep.
I just got 2. All right, so 3rd is down. So the point of this now is that this Blink Micro has been pretty cool. It's been pretty good, and he's got a lead. ThorZaIN's very far behind in this game, I'd say, at this point. He has no Vikings. He has 8 medivacs. And the Colossus count's increasing. Zealot charges on its way. The harassment from these has been incredible. Another medivac falls down.
It really has. I mean, losing 1 or 2 Stalkers at a time for a medevac or something like that is a pretty good trade here for the Protoss. You have to be a little bit careful as to how much you end up sacrificing in the end. But ThorZaIN now moving into a position of assault, but I mean, against 2 Colossus in this composition, I don't think he can do anything.
There's not even that many units for ThorZaIN. If you look at army supply, he's 70-81. He's behind in army supply at this point. He's behind in economy. And they're relatively equal in upgrades, but with the 2nd Forge coming down now, he's going to fall behind, and he's definitely behind in technology. With the Templar Archives coming in, Storm Archons are going to come into the mix. And at this point, BabyKnight's goal, max out. Hit 200 supply.
Yeah.
Hit 200 supply.
And he's going to be supply blocked for quite a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mistake, that. Because he definitely uses 700 mirrors. He could be warping in 7 more zealots.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Well, a lot of an investment here that could have been made, taken advantage of, as BabyKnight for now moving out to the middle of the map. And ThorZaIN, well, he's going to see his opponent's movements. He's going to pull back, actually. So BabyKnight, I think he realizes how much of a position of power that he is currently in.
Yeah, it's very easy from this point to say, I've played well this game. Now let's get 200 supplies, get the High Templar and Storm made, and then just go as a unit. He's moving down now, and he does have... No, he doesn't have any aggressive pylons coming down, but he does have a decently sized army. This isn't the easiest fight to win. It's still winnable. Obviously, the 100% win is to get Storm, wait for your upgrades to kick in, and then just come at 200 supply with a lot of pylons, a lot of money in the bank, and just hammer down on the third base. That's the 100% win if he plays it out smartly. Anything else is a risk, but obviously sometimes you get impatient as a player. Sometimes you go for that earlier win, and sometimes it doesn't work.
And now BabyKnight here, just trying to move around, and again, I guess intimidate his opponent just a little bit, make sure that he is not being as aggressive as he would like to be, or ThorZaIN being as aggressive as he would like to be, as a few units do get caught out. And I wouldn't be surprised if BabyKnight actually wanted to go for a 4th base, but he throws down the Dark Shrine once again. Yeah,
the Dark Shrine, 4th base, and attack all at the same time is great. He's got pylons across the map here. He's even got a couple of harassing zealots on the right-hand side just to take the Xel'Naga Tower away, maybe sneak into the mineral line. But the Ghost Academy incredibly late here. There's 4 High Templar, increasing 6 now, increasing their energy. And here's the point where I'd say, BabyKnight, it's time.
It's time,
Hell,
man.
it's about time.
BabyKnight.
And ThorZaIN sees it and he's like, oh god, it's time.
oh damn. Well, I even pulled off SCVs actually here for this, unless that wasn't intentional. But, I mean, he has to make something happen. Look how many High Templars are actually with this army. There's not a single Ghost out right now.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult for the Swede to hold on here. Almost impossible to some would say.
Yeah.
He really needs to pull off a miracle defense here against this attack, which is coming in from BabyKnight. A perfect timing. His 200 supply is ready. He's maxed out with his... Well, not maxed out, but he's got his upgrades that we're building. He's at 2-2. ThorZaIN's at 2-1, +2 armor on its way. No pylon close, though, which is the only part that's missing from BabyKnight. Unless he's going to say, you know what? I can go for the 200% win, which is get 3-3, harass with DTs and Zealots, take my 4th, and then max out with like 2,000 minerals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But BabyKnight is saying to himself, all right, if I do this, I can 2-0 him. If I do this, I can 2-0 him.
Yeah, he's just playing it as safe can be right now. There is the potential that he can crush, but he's deciding to go for the harassment route, go for the choke out route. +3-3 is on the way, but it's nowhere near completion. So
here he comes.
Oh, and he could catch a lot of those Vikings out of position. They actually move away, realizing that that would have been completely hazardous for them to be there. Hallucinated Phoenix scouts out what's going on. Only sees 3 ghosts for now. Yeah,
still a scary army to look at there for sure. I mean, he pokes in with the Hallucinated Phoenix to have a look at the army size. And okay, he's ready, he's ready. Guardian Shield's gonna activate, we're gonna go. No, we're not. No, we're not. Oh, we're gonna go. Oh boy.
That's too obvious. They're leading the charge, but it doesn't really matter too much anyway. The Vikings start focusing down on some of those hallucinated Colossi in the end. He spreads himself out very, very nicely, but the Colossus are still alive and intact. The 4 that were at the front that died off, they meant nothing here. Just a little bit of shield energy.
Why no pylon, man?
Yeah.
He's got retreating storms coming down, but why no pylon?
Oh, but the storms continue to clip a lot of this bio and kill off good amounts of it. But in the end, well, ThorZaIN holds on, and BabyKnight's supply takes a big dip.
If he had a pylon there, he just warped in 7 DTs.
It's all the way up here, up to the top right.
Interesting play from BabyKnight. Threw his army at ThorZaIN there. Didn't have a reinforcing pylon. And now he just warped in 7 DTs. Back to ThorZaIN's army, which is at the 3rd base. These 7 DTs are...
I don't think they're going to do much.
It's a trivia question. You know, that's a question for a pub quiz. On the 23-minute mark on Star Station, BabyKnight versus ThorZaIN, Game 2. Why did he build 7 DTs?
And the answer is to get the majority of them killed off by bio. I guess.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, that could have been a lot of High Templar. Could have been more Colossus. Still, you know, very equal in terms of army supply, but he is still in the lead, BabyKnight, that is. in terms of economy.
Yeah, the fourth base for ThorZaIN is only now in production, and if BabyKnight wants to, with the economy fueling him behind it, he could continue to just amass a great army, and ThorZaIN's going to have a hard time really competing against that. Yes, he has a lot of Marines out, but if you've got Colossi and Storm against a very heavy Marine composition, not going to have a good time.
All right, so BabyKnight now just, again, he just kind of needs to max out again. Like, that's the best time to fight every time as a Protoss player is when you max out and have money in the bank.
Yeah.
Why? He's actually only at 63 probes. Oh, where's his probes? He doesn't have that many on the fourth base. He has 3 that are out of the main gas. He should probably move.
Bit of a skirmish occurring up to the top right. One Stalker chasing one medevac, and, well, the feedback will certainly finish that off. Moving around over the left-hand side as well. Not too much going on other than the fact that BabyKnight is still playing this out slow and safe. He's still going for another base. It's almost as if, you know, you were saying that the best time to go for an engagement, 200 supply. It's as if he said, right, I'm at 200 supply, time to just go and not really care about the consequences.
Yeah, but he should have maybe, you know, had a better flank of High Templar,
yeah,
reinforcing pylon, maybe a better spread. There's some small stuff in that fight. Definitely could have done better. It's definitely an analysis point for his future games if he wants to improve on that, but I think he already knows. But at this point now, you know, ThorZaIN's starting to climb. With the fourth base coming down, his income will start to increase again because his main base and natural pretty mined out. With a fifth base coming down from BabyKnight, he's now taking the spoon away from ThorZaIN and using it for himself, as he does need to go very shortly here. He's at 3-3, he's got shields on the way. Couple of harassment techniques. What I would love to see is him move in with all the units he has, pick off that planetary, and get out. That's the ultimate spoon.
Yeah.
Pick off the planetary with all those units you've got. Storm as your force fields to prevent him chasing you, and then just come back.
That would be nice here. As BabyKnight, I think he realizes that there's a drop heading up to the top right, but he's not able to really deal with that too much right now. As he pushes on forwards here, Planetary Fortress.
Ultimate spoon, slap him with a spoon. Get back, do the spoon move. Do the spoon.
That was a very vicious spoon. Killing off.
Yay, the spoon. That's the sickest spoon move. Pick off the fourth base and then go home. That's such an annoyance for a Terran player.
Yeah. Especially since he's so constricted to begin with anyway. It's just like, well, there's not much I can do right now.
That's so insulting to the spoon Terran too. Like, that's usually my move. I usually stim him with my Marauders, pick off your fourth base, then come back.
Then run away.
But yeah, the ultimate spoon move comes in there from BabyKnight.
Well, he's actually going for Warp Prism speed here. So trying to make this, well, that's yet another spoon move. Just Warp Prism harassment all day, every day, and then
he really is just fortifying his place in the next match, in the final match against Ret. Doesn't want to throw this away. Doesn't want to give ThorZaIN a chance to go to game 3. And now BabyKnight, you know, this is 200 supply pretty much. No reinforcing pylon though. It's the only thing he's missing.
Once again.
That's the only thing that stops him from taking a fight, I'd say.
He's trying to throw up another pylon up to this top right-hand position, and he keeps trying to reinforce, I guess, harassment from there, but no real means by which to reinforce a straight-up engagement. He killed something to free up supply for a Colossus and Immortal.
He's building the ultimate army.
The ultimate army.
All right, so there's a lot of ghosts coming down. At this point, ThorZaIN is up to 157 supply. The last time we saw him, well, last time I took notice was about 130, so he's got an extra 30 supply of units now. And he, you know, if he gets a 200 supply, despite the amount of money in the bank, he could definitely win a fight. Depends on how well he does.
And even picking up a lot there to just try and kill off a...
BabyKnight's got a good position here, very out in the open.
Yeah. And that's a lot of ghosts. Will he be able to make an impact? There's 3 observers here with this army. Something makes me think that he wanted observer speed as opposed to the Warp Prism speed, but with this now, you're right, very, very good position here. Drops the Storm, denies those ghosts from moving in.
Good EMPs though, good EMPs here. 160 supply to 189, ThorZaIN going in.
Tries to push on forwards with all of these Zealots as well, but they do end up disintegrating very, very quickly under the firepower of that bio. And ThorZaIN holds on once again for just a little bit here. The Colossus and the Archons, if they do turn around and do the damage that they need to do, though, they should be okay. The Observers are still there, so regardless of Cloak, it's not going to help out too much. There you go, GG, well played. And ThorZaIN is eliminated from Challenger League.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
challenge
ThorZaIN
lead.
is eliminated. That's pretty crazy to think that. Coming into this round of 32, a player that got to the round of 16 and almost made it to the round of 8, very close to making it there, unfortunately falls down here, and it's the other player, BabyKnight, making his way to the finals match where he has the chance now to go to the round of 16 himself with Wellmu.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. BabyKnight or Ret, who is going to advance on? Ret looked pretty darn good throughout the day.
Yeah.
But now, BabyKnight is fighting to get back to the position he was in Season 1. Fighting to get back to the round of 16, advancing on to that top 8 that he accredited himself with previously.
That's right. And before we do go to that finals match, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, as expected. But when we come back, we will have that interview with Wellmu to find out about his thoughts about being the first player to make it to the round of 16, the underdog of this group.
We'll see you in a little bit, guys.